that. It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello, that's the Chad calling. Let me click over real quick to let my Chad talk it.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Philadelphia Eagles. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready. 33. Yeah, let's go. Protein spill. Jump.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And just shedding him off there. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Wow, first play in the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he powers his way up past the 30. From the 31, Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Throwing on first is Wentz. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wentz. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. The numbers for Sanders last week, 10 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Now this throw caught left side. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They'll try to run with Sanders. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Elliott good on the extra point.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Sunday, 81.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 10. Stay moving. 61. Matchbox lights.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. A run there on 1st down gets 3 up to the 28. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last run, so here is 2nd and 7 from the 28. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. He finds an opening past the 40. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Broncos have retaken the lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bradley Chubb just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Here's Wentz to throw. And that will be incomplete. The former first-round pick, Kareem Jackson, there defensively.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
Fielded just inside the 20. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. Faking the give to Lindsay. Here's Locke. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Now Sanders. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. From the 44, Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards the pickup there. On 1st down, it's Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Eagles have retaken the lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive or no? And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20 and all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys are able to regain the lead. They had just given up the lead, and they get it right back.
Yeah, how about that? Answered quickly. Got right back to it. And look, long drives have their place. We know that. They can wear teams down. But when you hit them with big plays like that, that can really be a shot to him, a big-time one.
Yeah, one play, but now your defense is probably saying, man, we could have used a little more rest over here. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Wentz now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a trunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wentz, and that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 39.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down now, Baxter. And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 29.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Now Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing is Wentz. And Sanders has got it complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Wentz now to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the three's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the three is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Around the NFL, they're in the second quarter at Lambeau. Early lead in that one for the Packers. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Murray. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Hey, Orbit, you got blocked me.
Now this time, Wentz will throw. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Benson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys have now moved out in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 6-point game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Marquise Lee. His first touchdown on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw, it's Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Here's Sam Cook now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it at the 42. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. but sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. Throwing now is Lott. He's got the hook up to McLeod, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, it's a full. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up. There goes Green. The 40. The 30. 10. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd and 2, Wentz. Complete. Smith has it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Into the red zone. Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to pump the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
On the ready.
They fake the handoff. Now Locke. He completes this to Sutton. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Got an open man. It's McLeod. He's got the first down and more past midfield. 20, 10, and he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Ray McLeod, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Hey, Ford, Tokyo!
No. Off.
Sunday. Pilot, 64, weak.
On third and long, it's Wentz. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Von Miller able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time, they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. On second down, it's Lindsey pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Screen pass to Lindsey, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll go as a 9-yard loss on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Check.
Another run with Sanders. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. Wentz on the draw, leaves it for Sanders. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wentz, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
Solid. Other side, solid. Sunday.
Check the backer.
Check 13.
The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Here's Sanders. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead.
Watch the whip.
First and goal, the 8-yard line.
Check 33.
Recon, 132 fighter. Tyson.
Tighten up.
They'll run with Sanders, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Check. Cross.
Now a give, right side. Mitchell. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And now they have taken a 4th quarter lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They're going to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you, because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Blocked again here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Lock throwing on target to Fant.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
They'll go for it. It's Locke. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll try to draw. Lindsey.
On the ball.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Locke's trying to hurry him up with that clock running. They'll look to throw. Able to complete this one to McLeod. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw. And he'll find McLeod on the right side complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Ready.
33, check back 33. Switch up, switch up.
Check. Get it.
Back to throw. And this is going to be hauled in. Oh, what a catch at the 10. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
In a 2-minute drill, we often talk about...
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Juwan Winfrey, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown. Late in the game, they look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
Let's go.
Now Drew Lock and the Broncos. Down by 7, 50 seconds to go. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a 1st down. He'll look to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
This is the tight end Fant. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
got it. Let's go. 15 line. 15 line.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play.